Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the In the Galaxy podcast. It's me, Michael G. ILK, Gilkison, with my boy Jay Williams. What's cracking, Jay?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Just loving this Cali lifestyle of sunny weather, and it's getting warmer and stuff. How's it in Kentucky, in my old Kentucky home?
It's beautiful right now outside, but I'm stuck in here talking to you, so
Well, you're pretty fortunate in that regard.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, well, I don't know. Probably gonna get outside in a little while and something stupid like that. Just get outside a little bit. So, yeah.
What are we reviewing this time? We did Macklemore last time.
We are reviewing Sohn, Sohn. One dude, kind of like Bonnie Bear. Sohn's new album, Tremors, like the Kevin Bacon movie, phenomenal movie.
Yes, I love it.
It actually just came out this past week, so I was really excited to listen to it. I stumbled upon this dude just the same way I stumble across a lot of music, just kind of surfing around on Spotify. Heard the song Blood Flows and Artifice and Lessons and a few other songs, and just really, really, really was enjoying some of the stuff that I had heard. So I was really excited for this new album to come out. Kind of let Michael check it out before, and I think he kind of liked what he had heard as well. So yeah, he's actually a songwriter. He's a songwriter, an English fellow. And he's written songs for or worked with Lana Del Rey before and a few other people. So yeah. So do you want me to start or do you want to start?
It doesn't matter to me.
I'll go. What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
You go first, since
Okay.
I went first last time for my pick.
That's cool. Mine's won't be super in depth. So
Cool.
man, when I first had heard this guy, I don't know if you got this impression, but maybe it was the fact that we were coming off of a review, but I just felt like a very strong Bonnie Bear vibe to it. And it could have been the fact that he sings primarily in a falsetto voice like Justin Vernon does. But also just some of the grooves in the music. You know, Bonnie Bear, they have this groove that it's almost not really there, but it's kind of there. Like there's not a ton of percussion going on in Bonnie Bear songs, but you kind of just feel this rhythm and this groove. Here it's kind of the same way, but it's different in the sense where Sohn definitely uses some actual electronic beats. Actually, the whole of this dude's music, it's kind of framed up in the same way. Like it's all very synthesizer driven. Like there's synthesizers all over this record from start to finish. That's if you're going to pick up a Steve Vai record, you're going to hear some guitar playing. You pick up an Eric Clapton record, you're going to hear some guitar playing. If you pick up a Sohn record, or at least this one for now, you're going to hear a shit ton of synthesizers. That's just how it is. And it's done very well. I think it's done very in a classy sort of manner. It's not overly done. It's not super cheesy.
Yeah.
The music, it's very toned down. It's very when I was writing down notes to these songs, I kept using the word dampened. Everything was very dampened. Like, you're not hearing these synthesizers that you would hear on like an electronic, like dubstep record where it's just like, it's just not going crazy. It's just all kind of just mellow and chilled out, which is another kind of Bonnie Bear type of thing. And the beats, some of these beats are really present, like on the song Artifice. It's just got this really big beat. It's just like, it could be like on a Drake record or something, but that's kind of a one-off, and I'll get to that when I kind of go through each one. The beats mainly they're almost very dark, very atmospheric and ethereal, almost like something you would hear on like a Neighborhood record, where they're good, strong beats, but they're just kind of just dark and just kind of up in the clouds almost. But Yeah. So, and there's a lot of other stuff going on too. But the biggest thing, just to uh, kind of say one big thing about Sohn and this dude, what he does. This guy is a very talented producer in terms of some of these songs that he puts together, these beats are super complex. I mean, there's all kinds of
Yes.
these little bleeps and bloops on accents and down notes, and they're everywhere. All kinds of these textures that are intertwined with like a lead synth part that kind of helps carry the melody through. On some
Wow. Yeah.
on some songs, the it's incredibly technical and complex, and on some of the songs he does kind of pull it back. So which kind of leads me into my track by track review. So um, the album opens up with Tempest, and this song, man, it surprised me because there's some songs on here that have been out for a while just as singles to get people kind of hyped, like me. Like that's how I found out about him. But this song Tempest came in, and it's got this chopped up vocal, like almost that you would hear in a lot of
Ooh, ooh, ooh,
yeah, like stuff that you would hear on like a Kanye record or like
Yeah.
a dubstep record. Just it creates this beat within a beat. Like there's no kick drum yet, there's no snare hit yet, there's no hi-hat, but you get this vibe, and it just starts, man. It's just like a really good song, got a great beat, I'm grooving, really smooth vocals, got a great smooth voice, a lot like Justin Vernon, great ear for
Yeah.
melody, great ear for melody. And then into the next song, The Wheel, it has the same thing where he takes actually the lead melody for the whole song is he's basically doing these oohs and ahs, and he chops them up, and yeah, that's
Yeah. That was. Are you still there, Jay?
single off this record, and it is the club banger song. I will say this: it's an outstanding song, but there's no other song on this record that sounds like it. It's just like it's really upbeat and poppy, and it's got like a really good hook and stuff in it. It's the song that's like somebody better let me know my name. It's just like really smooth, and it has a really heavy beat too. Where I said a lot of the other beats are really dampened down up in the clouds. This beat is it's heavy. It's just like oh shit. So that song stood out to me, and I'm gonna take that song and kind of put it on the shelf, and I'll come back to it. Blood Flows, that's actually the very first song I ever heard from him. That song's just smooth. That's where I get the Bon Iver vibe. So tracks 1, 2, 3, 4. The first 4 tracks on this record are all huge, really complex arrangements. And then the next 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5 songs, they kind of fall off a little bit. And I don't mean in a bad way, but you're just going, your head is in a million different places because there's these complex beats and complex arrangements and stuff and songwriting. And then you get into this kind of chill mode. It's sleep time. Sohn says, all right, we got you grooving and dancing, but now we're going to put you to sleep.
Yeah.
So the song Ransom Notes, Paralyzed, Full, and Lights, man, these songs, not bad songs, but they're not nearly as complex. They're maybe not nearly as thought out. They're really pulled back. And honestly, I'm getting a really heavy Radiohead influence on a lot of these songs. Radiohead have always been kind of the kings of basically taking different types of music and blending it together and just taking you for a ride. Like you have like a really heavy dance song, and then just this really weird song. It might not even be a song, and then you into a chill mode. And here Sohn puts like 4 chill songs back to back to back, and I really felt like that kind of hurt this record because you kind of got to place those in different places. You went from like going hard on the first 4 songs to chill mode in the middle, which I think is a good peaks and valleys type of way to kind of go through a record. And we've talked about this before an album being an experience, but this one, that experience might have been too long. I would have liked to have seen those placed in different places on the album. So then you get to the last.
And by the way, remind me to talk about sequencing during mine, because
we'll do. So the last two songs on this record, we get back into basically if Sohn was driving, taking us on a drive through a town, the first 4 songs he was showing us around his hometown where he likes to live, the beauty of his hometown. The next few songs was him showing us the country roads that we don't care about, taking a nap on the country road. The last 2 songs are him coming back home when it's nighttime and it's party time, like it's time to go out on the bar scene. The song Lessons is an incredible song. I love this song. The melody is made up by a synthesized arpeggio that's broken up. It basically takes out half the arpeggio notes and he chops it up, and it just sounds really, really cool. It's really catchy. The vocals are great in this record. This is another, I would say, Sohn's lyrics are actually more discernible than somebody like Bon Iver, where you just don't know what he's saying at all. You might hear one of every 138 words. Here you can understand him.
Yes.
You can understand him, but it's still one of the biggest things. And I meant to say this kind of for my whole sum up of the album, but this guy has the ability to say, where I think Bon Iver and Justin Vernon can say, I'm just not going to sing right now and let the music carry it. This guy knows that because it's really just a beat and a synthesizer, he knows that his voice is equally as important to this music, but he also knows that he doesn't need a lot of words. So, in this lesson song, it's pretty much just, he pretty much just says of lessons learned, and like he keeps rephrasing that in different ways. There's not a lot of lyrics to the song, but he knows to pull it back and just say, I don't need a ton of words. I can just have this phrase and let my voice be an instrument and kind of carry through the music. And I really like that. So Lessons, probably one of my favorite songs on the whole record. Tremors, the title track of the record, another great song, a really, really, really good song. Don't really have anything bad to say about it, except for the fact that there's 2 songs that aren't on this record that had been released before. One of them is called Oscillate. And I'm pretty sure that the song Oscillate, the lead synth part, is like almost the exact same as this Tremor song. So maybe he just took it out of that song and put it in this one. I don't know, but it's a good song. All in all, this is a first release from this dude. What I would like to see from him in the future, I like his whole approach of basically saying the beats and the synthesizers are great together. So I'm going to do this, but I kind of would have liked to see him go outside of that a little bit. I mean, all of these records have this, or all of these songs have the same vibe to them, I feel. But I would have really have liked to have seen him maybe incorporate some actual instruments, some guitars, some live bass, some live drums, just a little bit more. He's great on the computer. We know he can make one hell of a song on a computer, but maybe step outside of your comfort zone a little bit. And the other thing obviously is break up those songs, those sleepy songs. We don't need all those clustered together, like right in the middle. You can place those out a little bit. So I'm going to give this album a solid B+. It's not breaking into the regions of the A's because it's just, there are some flaws in it, but it's a B+. It's something I feel like people should definitely check out. Definitely keeping an eye on this guy. A lot of promise. So that's my review, Michael.
Excellent.
Let's hear what you have to think about it.
Yeah, you made some astute observations regarding the whole music part. But there's one thing that I have a bone to pick with you about, and I don't agree with you. How many times did you listen to this album?
Oh, lots of times. Probably, I listened to it all week ever since it came out.
Okay.
Probably a few times a day. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Same here for me. I listen to this at least 10 times.
Good.
All of it, at least 10 times. Now, the reason that Jay's laughing is because he tells me, like, dude, you've got to listen to this album more than once. You got to give it a fair chance. You have to listen to it while you're jogging, listen to it while you're taking a shit, listen to it while you're crying. But, like,
how often have you been crying?
It's it's one of those things where damn, lost my train of thought. No, with the sequencing, the thing that I think makes, like, it has to, the album has to make me want to listen to it. The thing about the sequencing, you've got the Tempest, the Wheel, and then Blood Flows to Ransom Notes, and then you've got that sleeper part in the middle. Now, what I really, really loved was, I think Tremors is my favorite song. I think Lessons and Tremors. Yeah, Tremors, the last song, is my favorite. And what I think psychologically happens here is you go through this experience, they hit you hard up front, and then they sleep in the middle. It's like, okay, let's chill it out a little bit. Well, then Lessons comes back in, and you're like, boom, I'm back. Like you said, bar scene, ready to go. And
so let me ask you one thing just real quick. Do you agree with the fact that those songs are kind of the more chill songs, that little cluster right there?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if maybe I just saw that and wasn't paying enough attention, but okay.
No, I completely agree with that. I just think Lessons and Tremors were the top ones, like the top ones. And for me, that's what made me listen to the album over and over again, because when Lessons came in, I was like, damn, this is good. Shit, this is really good. And then
it comes in that part, it goes
oh, you know what Lessons reminded me of? When it gets, like, he changes with his voice, he goes, these lessons learned, yeah, that one. These lessons learned, these lessons.
There's parts when he drops his octave, like, I think I was listening to it with my roommate John. He was like, "Is this Bon Iver?" I was like,
exactly.
No, it's not.
No, but, like, with that reminded me of Bon Iver, but it also reminded me of Drake. Because when Drake's album Nothing Was the Same leaked, they put, like, this filter over his vocals to where he had, like, he was rapping like this, you know? It was just a filter that they put on it because it was leaked. It hadn't come out yet, but you could still listen to it. That's what it reminded me of. It had a Drake feel to it with Lessons when he was doing that. These lessons learned. It's just like, it just was very soulful, man. It's just that soul that I just love. Tremors. Then when Tremors played, I was like, oh my God, this is so amazing. And then my Spotify just stopped, silence. And I'm like, oh, I'm sad now. And then I went, boom, Tempest. Back to it again. And then Tempest, it brings me back in. And the Wheel. Oh, and I love the Wheel.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of a poetry term, is when you, like, break up your words in a way that it pushes it to the next line. I think lyrically, because you can hear his lyrics more. I'm more of a lyric junkie. Yeah. The Wheel, the thing about the Wheel is, like, this album is kind of like a wheel, because Tremors pushes me back to Tempest to listen to it again. And that's where I was getting into psychology, is because Tremors is so good that it leaves you wanting more. And, you know, when you're putting together whether it's a symphonic concert or any kind of concert, it's better to leave the audience wanting more rather than saying, damn, is this thing over yet? I agree. It's psychologically better. And that's what I think it did with this, because, you know, I slept a little in the middle. It was chill. But, you know, I enjoyed it so much. It got me into a mood, because I listened to this before I went to sleep, and then I was just like, oh, man. There was a song about playing games that I really liked a lot, the chill ones. Mm-hmm. I think the chill songs resonated for me more because I typically like fast-paced and upbeat stuff. But, I really enjoyed that. To kind of go back toward the beginning. Blood flows. Man, I love blood flows. It's just with what you were saying earlier, just with all the different types of instrumentation and the synths. Well, not really instrumentation, just the synths. What I wanted to say there is the layers.
Oh
He's
yeah,
very,
tons of them.
very good about adding effective layers of where it's just like, okay, this is working. Well, now we're gonna just throw this on top of it, and now it doesn't really take away from the main sound. It just adds its spin to it to make it different. And it's almost like to use an illustration, like a DNA model that just keeps spinning around and around. Like it's still the same pattern, but it gets different because it's turning around. It's a different angle. So I mean, it just adds to that warp and weft of the fabric of the sound. So I mean, I really appreciated that with Blood Flows. But I mean, I know what you mean, dude. I could just take the Wheel, Blood Flows, Vito. Actually, Vito. I liked that song. That's when I think it woke up with Vito.
I couldn't remember if that was a sleeper song or not. But I just remember there was a cluster of sleeper songs. I couldn't really remember where they ended. But yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Vito's the one where he says, "I'm not going to play your games anymore."
Yeah.
Or the one that loves me, or I'm in love with the one that doesn't love me, or my love doesn't love me anymore. I think it was that one. And I'm just like, ooh, yeah, groove it. Yeah, so I think it wakes up around Vito. So I would take the Wheel, Blood Flows, Vito, Lessons, Tremors, and I would just have a solid set of 5 with those.
Of a playlist of the. It almost does feel like two separate vibes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just. I lost you.
Oh, yeah. That's all right. Yeah, 2 vibes. So it feels like 2 vibes, you said?
Yeah, it's almost, it's a classic storytelling thing. A frame tale. You're familiar with a frame tale story?
Yes, and tell our viewers in case they may not know. It's like a Forrest Gump.
Yeah, so essentially a frame tale in a story or a movie is when the movie begins kind of at the end of the story, and the way the rest of the story is presented typically is the main character says, "Oh, well, let me tell you about how I got here." So you're actually going backwards, and you end up coming back around at the end where you started, which is the end. So it's hard. The beginning of the movie and the end of the movie are at the same period, and everything before that happens in the middle. So that's kind of how I feel with this record. I mean, it's like he said, okay, I've got these 2 ideas, these 2 vibes, but instead of completely breaking it up, he could have said, I'm going to give you one half of this vibe and one half of this vibe. But then he said, no, that's too easy. I'm not going to do that. He said, I'm going to give you the heavy vibe at the front end, let you sleep, and then come back with a heavy vibe. So like you were saying, I mean, the record is cyclical when you listen to it. And I didn't really realize it until I was actually going through each of these songs. And I was like, yeah, you can definitely start here, sleep, and then start here. But it does make you want to come back around eventually. So Michael's now doing research.
Yes, I am. I thought there was a reference to one of lyrics of the song "Wheel." Like he talks about the wheel. I thought it was in Lessons. All these lessons I've learned, bridges I've burned. This time I'll do things differently. I think I kind of that's what I was looking at when you were talking. I just had this revelation just now of the second song is the wheel, but the next to last song is the lesson. So symmetrically, they're placed as the next to last and then almost the first.
Right.
So, like, for them to kind of connect how they do, it is very cyclical, like a wheel. And a wheel goes round and round. And when you learn a lesson, it's like, oh, well, I learned a lesson because I'm changing how I'm behaving now, just like a wheel. So, I'm coming back around. I don't know if that's just bullshit or not, but I think it's
made it up.
Well, yeah, I just saw it, right? Like as we were talking about this.
Well, I think more than anything, what I can tell by both of our analyses of this record definitely requires closer examination. That's for sure.
Yeah, and the thing that I like almost better about Sohn than Bon Iver is that, and I think I just gave away my grade there, but what I like about Sohn is you can just hear what he's saying. Like it can actually, these lessons learned, like you could just groove to that. You know, you don't need to know that much about it or.
And I think that you have to put them, while they are very similar in their feel, I think you have to put them in different, almost in different sections, because Bon Iver is about the whole damn thing, as you discussed before. It's so much about the music. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's so much about the music. It's about the whole experience. Where Sohn, I mean, obviously he puts a lot of thought into everything that he does. I can tell that, but the songs are more about the songs themselves, where I don't ever get that vibe from Bon Iver. I never think Bon Iver is solely about one song after another. Song 1, song 2, song 3, song 4. It's about the whole body of work, as we've discussed many times. So.
No, I agree with that. And with Bon Iver, it doesn't matter what he's saying almost. It's just like, shit, I don't know what he's saying, but he's got something to say.
Right, yeah.
But with Sohn, I just pulled up the Vito lyrics. I won't play your games no more. No, I won't play your games no more. If you won't believe my motives at all, if you want to leave this lonely hole, well, I won't play your – okay, repeats it. When the colors fade, I'm locked out of all this. When the colors fade, I'll go. Nothing – let's see. There's a good line in here. Live in half lies, going through the motions, they won't let us go. I don't know, I just saw it. I mean, nothing complex lyrically. I think the music just complements it very well. So that wasn't the one that I'm thinking of, but I definitely agree with you there, Jay.
Yeah.
I guess as far as my final analysis, see, the way that this was, I liked how it was sequenced. I liked the order of the pieces. It's definitely not – I mean, for me, it's up there with Bon Iver, but it's now that I'm reflecting back on it, like as far as movements and not having a song, but, you know, more like composition and stuff like that. Man, I'm going to have to – this song definitely breaks the A range for me. Definitely is –
The album, you mean?
Yeah, the album. The entire piece of work is an A for me.
Good call. Good call.
I mean, I just think it's very the guy's talented. It's fun to listen to, and I don't listen to this type of music a lot. Like, I really don't. I like more upbeat, fast-paced, and you get that in this. You get taste of that. But, I mean, it was good for me to be in a chill mood and just have some shit that I could think about with the lyrics too and actually understand the lyrics. So that's a layer that it added for me that Bon Iver didn't add. Because I could understand Sohn.
Good call. Well, I'm glad, man. I'm glad that you know, I think we're starting to figure out maybe a new genre that Michael likes. Really chill music that you can't understand what they're saying that much. So. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's awesome, man. I'm glad that you liked it.
So. No, you've had some good picks for me. You've
I might be changing that for next week's.
Well, I mean, Pharrell and you were pretty hard on Pharrell and Jay-Z. I feel like I could have been harder on Issues and the other, like, I don't know. I wonder if I'm too easy sometimes.
I think so. I think
so. Yeah. Now, if I did show another side of myself when I was talking about Mumford and Sons, like,
which we didn't review, but
I know, but yeah, I don't know. I just feel bad slamming your picks because I'm like, oh man,
it's all right. I've slammed yours.
I feel like it's okay now for me to slam yours now that you've slammed mine.
Yeah,
because it's not personal. It's just a piece of work.
This is your opinion. I mean, we went into this thing knowing that we had very different musical tastes. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But you want to hear your pick for next week?
Yeah, I want to hear what I'm listening to.
Alrighty, it's new. It's another new record. It comes out on Tuesday. We're getting back to the heavy music again for you. And this one, I'm not holding anything back. There is no singing on this record at all.
Oh, wow.
It's really, really friggin' heavy. Will make you want to go fight somebody. Just hate music. Just hateful. Just hate. I'm picking Amur's new record, Eternal Enemies. Amur is a very, very, very polarizing band. They're not a metal band. They're not a hardcore band. They're kind of in the middle. People call them deathcore or people call them beatdown. It's just heavy, dude. Some of the heaviest music I've ever listened to.
Yeah.
It's just really heavy, really in your face. And they've had a little bit of controversy. Their singer is nothing short of saying controversial things and doing controversial things. Originally, the first song on this record, which it takes a lot to offend me. You're aware of this, right?
Yes, I'm aware of this. I can't emphasize how much of an understatement that is.
I was offended by the name of the opening track on their CD. It's now untitled. They've taken the name away from the
What
first
was
track,
it titled?
What's that?
What was it titled?
It was titled "Bring a Gun to School," and yeah,
oh wow,
so that was a little bit of a line crosser for a lot of people.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so they got some pretty heavy pushback on that. This is a band who has lyrics like "Ask your girl what my dick tastes like," and
that's why I picked Tyga for you.
Oh, word, yeah. That's not on this record, but
no, I don't think Tyga's line is on that record either. But Tyga's line is, "When you see a girl, ask her how my dick tastes."
Oh yeah, that sounds very similar, eerily.
Yeah.
This band has songs about violence towards women.
Oh my God.
There's a song about this dude wanting to get even with this girl that gave him the clap and all this stuff. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Kind of a little bit of a flow to his screaming voice, but we'll see what you think.
That sounds good, man. I'm looking forward to a change of speed. It's metal.
It's definitely a change. I'm going to need you to get through this entire CD for me.
Okay. How long is it?
Oh, I don't know. It's not out yet, but.
Oh, okay. Okay. Tuesday.
They're usually not too long, but the abrasiveness of it, how actually heavy it is. You not having listened to a lot of this type of music. I mean, you have before, but not in a while. I just hope you're not like, I can't take this.
No, man. I like everything. Well, to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Well, cool, dude. Thanks. I appreciate it. I look forward to it. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about Tyga either. Man, I don't know. I don't know what you're going to think about him. I think he's a blend of – he's somewhere between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. I just don't know. I know where he falls with me. I just don't know where he's going to fall with you.
True.
So –
cool, man.
I actually have an idea, but we'll see how that goes. Anything else?
Man, I'm good. I want to thank Ryan Snelling for coming on. I guess
yes, absolutely.
A couple episodes ago. We look forward to having more guests on the podcast, having him back sometime. Make sure you guys go out and support him. And if you haven't listened to that episode, make sure you do it. Actually, by the time this is up, that episode will have been out for a while because we wanted to get it up as soon as we could.
Yeah. Young filmmaker, Ryan Snelling, screenwriter, who is doing a crowdfunding effort for his movie that he wants to shoot in Frankfort, Kentucky. So, go ahead and check that out. It's definitely worth doing. Very young, talented kid, 23 years old. Just, think he's going to accomplish a lot of cool things, and I was glad to have him as our first guest on the show.
Yeah, and we'll have more guests in the future. We'll keep you guys up to all that. Make sure you guys get on Facebook and look up Michael Gilkison, our fair host, and follow him and all that jazz. And you can find me on Twitter, Jay Williams, Jaye. Yeah, man, that's it, dude. I'm gonna go outside and enjoy this nice weather.
Oh, yeah. Sounds good. Well, we'll catch you next time in Galaxy Land, everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time. Peace.